Hi, welcome to another one of my videos. Thanks for coming. You've seen from the title what this is from the clip on YouTube. Didn't you know which gun I'm going to unbox here? I like to keep my channel current and show you all the best and the newest guns out there. And this one isn't. This one is obviously about 5 years old. But I really wanted this gun and it wanted to be part of my collection. When a box like this big comes in through the post, well, it's a good day. I have opened it just to make sure it was the right thing. I was making sure I was opening the gun and not something entirely different. So let's have a look at this. This is just purely an unboxing to show you what I've got, and then I'll do a review on this one properly some other time. This is not a new gun. This is a second-hand gun. I went on to Airsoft forum and bought this as a second-hand item. If you've gone on to the Airsoft forum, there's a guy called Daniel Defense, and he was brilliant. He had an advert on there, so I sent some information, and he phoned me and went through all the information about the gun and about it being second-hand and the condition. Really nice guy, really great communication, very forthcoming with information, and we agreed to sell, and the gun was sent the next day. Can't complain. Let's have a look in what I got in the box and what you can expect to get if you were to get one of these, and see what you think of it. As I say, this is purely just an opening of this because it's a new gun for me, but obviously it's not a new gun. Okay, so I did open this box just to make sure, as I say, it was the right thing, which clearly it is. Rebuilt out. And what I bought myself would seem to be a shower. Alright, okay. Tape is good. Okay, because it's not a new box, obviously it's not in the right packaging or anything like that. So one of the things he's done is he's printed off the manual. The manual is obviously just a generic kind of manual. It's a lot of Japanese with a little bit of English underneath. Just a breakdown. How to load the gun and parts. So again, just useful to have. These obviously aren't included. He's put these in for me, which is very kind. So that's a radio pouch, and then two M4 magazine pouches. He's included 3 Newpol mid-cap magazines, and then obviously comes with a mid-cap as well. I believe the gun originally came with 2 high caps. I don't like high cap magazines too particularly, so I'm pleased about that. 4 magazines for the gun, superb. It's got the carry handle stroke sights. It's like Christmas all over again. So he did tell me that he's got a brand new NIMS battery, which he's done, and a charger. I don't actually run NIMS personally. I run LiPo batteries. So it'd be interesting to see how these compare with the LiPo and see how they work with these. I haven't used one of these since I started Airsoft, so we'll see how that goes. And then this. Oh my goodness, it weighs a ton. Right, let's get rid of the box and then we'll come back to the gun. Okay, welcome back. So this is it, and it's a beast. It is a really impressive looking thing. So obviously it has the carry handle that would have gone on the top, and he's put an Elcan M145 on there. This is a clone. I think that really these tend to be more for the saws. Tends to go on a 249 saw gun more than one of these, but they are okay with it. With the L86, it does have a different picketing rail, so he's obviously put an adapter on there so that this fits on top. These obviously would have this obviously would work better with a SUSAT scope, but I don't have one of those at the moment. Maybe I'll get that in time to come. So as I say, we've got the magazines. I'll leave that one out. The manual as well, I guess. So that's going to fit the pouches fit obviously for those as well, which is brilliant. The L86 does take standard M4 magazines, which is great because I have loads of those already. Let's get rid of that as well. Okay, so let's have a look around the gun. It is a very heavy piece indeed. It is proper stamped metal. Anything that's green or olive green is plastic or high polymer, and it feels very good. There's no shake on there. So if you're familiar with the gun, you know this is the A2 because it's got the cocking handle. On the A1 it's just a bolt. With this one it's got a larger handle. This is a diffuser, or just when the extractor, when the bullets come out to take it away from you. It does lock back. Sorry if I'm uncomfortable with this. I'm pushing this up. You can lock back, and obviously in there you've got your rotatory hop up. It's quite firm. It's quite a healthy click on there as well, as you can hear. The other thing with the gun is on the L2 model is the magazine release has this kind of shroud around it to stop you from knocking it accidentally and dropping your magazine. Gun itself, it's got ambidextrous sling mounts. That's probably where the biggest wobble is. And that butt plug is the butt plate is a little bit wobbly. We can do something with that. Polymer cheek rest. You've got your single fire and full automatic. As I say, the magazine release is just on the side here. The gun has safe mode, which is just in here. So you push it for that for being safe, and then that's on fire. Battery is housed inside the grip, which you press on this one. With the ICS, if you press this button here, you can then remove this, and then that gives you access to your battery space, which is a small to me. And it's just back on again. Just want to make sure I don't pinch any of the wires. Nice. And it just clips back down again. You've got a front sling mount as well. This would have been for the front sight, but obviously because he's got a scope on there, he's taken that off and haven't had that, or don't have that with the package. Coming up to metal barrel and your metal flash hider. This can come off at 14mm anti-clockwise, and then again you can put something like a suppressor or something on there. I'm not sure whether or not I'll do that. I'll just keep it legit to what it is. So as I say, to release this again, pull it back. Your dust cover does come up, and you just pull it back slightly, and then it just clips back into place. It's got individual, or it's got engraved trades and serial number on there. It really is very heavy. It's a really heavy piece. I like it. It shoulders really well. It feels very comfortable. It's got a nice sort of feel to it. I haven't got a bullpup in my collection, and that's why I wanted to get this. Bullpup obviously meaning that the magazine would go in the back behind the trigger, so that you get a longer barrel on this, which means hopefully effectively you get better range and you get better accuracy with it. Look at that. You've got to love it, really, haven't you? I mean, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I know in the real world a lot of people aren't happy with the gun. I think it's the stopping power and such that they're not keen on. As a collector's piece, it's very iconic. I love the front. I love the polymer. I love the colours. It's going to take some getting used to. It feels very heavy, as you can feel. It's all of this is metal, and this is where your gearbox and everything is. So it is very rear heavy, and I can imagine that's going to take some time to get used to. I guess when you're playing, you're holding it like this, so you're supporting the weight a lot. I went for the ICS for two reasons. I wanted to get the open bolt gas blowback version, but it's very difficult at the moment in the UK to find that. So I thought, well, if I buy the AEG version, then it'll give me a chance to get used to it, find out if I like the platform and enjoy using the gun, and then obviously I can upgrade at some other point. I'm not too unimpressed at all. No marks. I mean, it looks brand new, doesn't it? It looks really good condition. I think the other reason that I went for this and not the G&G, the G&G has a blowback, and there's a lot of people saying that the blowback's not very good, and they've stopped it because it's not effective. It also slows the fire down, or the fire rate down on the gun. This one, the ICS, has two things that I really liked, and the first one is that it has the split gearbox. And the split gearbox is that, I'm just going to pull this out. You've got pins on these, and the pin is retained, and it comes off, giving you access to the gearbox here. Sorry, to your spring in here. This is a quick change spring. So what I can do on here is got three settings without having to change the spring. Obviously you can just unscrew that, the spring comes out, you can change your spring. But actually on the bolt itself, it's got three settings. And you can then change the FPS on this, so it shoots at, I think it's 320, 350 and up to 400 without having to change the spring, and that's really simple by undoing this, changing a bolt in the catch, screwing it back on, and then that's your FPS changed. So I like the fact that it's very, very durable for either inside or outside playing, forest game. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, let me put the butt back on. I want to test it because he's saying that it's shooting at 340 FPS. So I want to find out whether or not that's true, whether or not that's the case. I also want to try it with the NIMS and then with a LiPo battery. A LiPo I'll try on 7.4. This is a 9.6. So it'd be interesting to see what the comparable between the two batteries are. As I say, because usually I don't run these. At the moment, it's pouring with rain in the UK. It's windy and it's incredibly cold. We call it summer. So trying to get any shooting on this is going to be probably a bit impractical, but I will do the chrono just so we can have a look at what that's like, and then just take it outside and do some shooting with it, just to give you an idea. But it's not going to be great shooting because it is awful at the moment. I like the trigger. The trigger's metal. It's got the metal shroud on there as well, the trigger guard. And it's quite comfortable when you're holding like this. I just really like it. What do you think? I think it's safe to say that's pretty tough box. Quite a few hits. Not bad. Okay, so welcome back. Let's summarise. I think it looks amazing. All the bits and pieces that I got with the gun. These guns retail around about 330 English pounds currently at the moment, brand new. I paid $250 for this, and then obviously I've got the pouches, I've got the magazines, I've got the battery, I've got the clone sight as well. That alone, these tend to go for around about 70 to 100 pounds. So even though it's a second-hand gun, I think I've got a pretty good deal on that one. Shooting wise, I'm impressed. There's no blowback, there's no feel of engaging with a gun, but it's an airsoft, and that's kind of what you expect anyway. The single shot was good, the distance was good, the range was good. The fun switch was very impressive, and the fire rate was good, as you've seen as well. Is it your cup of tea? I mean, I know it's not everyone's. It is a really heavy piece, and if you're a young person, I would probably recommend that you avoid this gun. It does weigh a ton. I think having a sling on there is going to be probably a massive must, because it's just going to break your neck, break your back trying to run around with this all day long as well. It's going to take getting some used to, just purely because I'm very used to the M4s where you've got your magazine to the front. This one, I'm feeling where my hand is, my wrist is moving on here, and I think after a while that's going to wear quite a lot, unless you have your butterfly hands, which is never a good look. So I think that once the magazine's in there, maybe it's quite comfortable. I don't know. It's a bit of kit, isn't it? It really is. The takedown on this as well is quite simple. You've got two pins, one here and one here. By pulling these out, the top comes off, and the ICS as well, again, has got an interesting thing where it's got connections for your trigger, so that it's actually, you can take the whole gearbox out. The trigger's really easy to get onto. It's very easy and quick to maintain and to look after the gun. It's another one for the collection. Let me get used to it. Let's find out what it's like, and I'll come back to you with a full review. Thanks for watching.